Have you ever showered, put on freshly washed clothes, and still notice that something about your smell just didn't feel fresh? You might blame your skin, your deodorant, maybe even getting older. But what if the smell isn't actually starting on your body? What if some of the things you do or don't do around your home every day are quietly creating the smell that eventually ends up on you? Think about your pillow, your sofa, your towels, your blankets, your curtains, the shoes sitting inside your closet. You touch, sleep on, wear, or lean against these things every single day. And over time, they collect body oils, moisture, sweat, cooking particles, and other odor-causing compounds. Then you get back into those same fabrics, night after night, day after day. And without realizing it, the smell you're trying to wash off your body may actually be coming back from the environment around you. This is one reason old person smell can be so frustrating. You can shower more often, use stronger deodorant, spray perfume, wash your clothes. But if the things around you are quietly holding on to odor, you're cleaning the person while ignoring the source. And there's another problem. You may not even be able to smell it yourself. Your brain becomes accustomed to smells that are constantly present, which means you can live surrounded by the same odor for months, while a visitor notices it within minutes. And this is where a very different approach to hygiene starts to make sense. Because the Japanese approach isn't simply about making things look cleaner, it's about stopping odor before it has a chance to settle. Today, we're breaking down 9 Western hygiene habits that can contribute to old person smell by 40, and the Japanese-inspired habits that approach the problem from a completely different angle. By the end of this video, you may stop asking, why does my smell feel different? And start asking something more useful instead. Because the more important question is, where's that smell actually coming from? And the first place to look is probably somewhere you've never considered part of your hygiene routine. 1. The pillowcase that touches you every night. The pillow is perhaps the most deceptive object in the bedroom. It sits mere inches from your skin and hair for 7 to 8 hours every night, yet it often looks pristine long after it has stopped smelling fresh. While it is easy to assume the laundry cycle should be weekly, many Japanese households prioritize changing pillowcases every 2 to 3 days. The logic lies in the nature of fabric itself. It holds on to microscopic oils and moisture far longer than it holds on to visible dirt. Every night, the pillow does not just support your head, it actively trades with it. The oils and moisture released by your body during sleep are absorbed into the fibers, only to be pressed back against your skin and hair the very next night. This silent cycle of accumulation extends to any fabric that remains in constant contact with the body, such as towels folded near the bathroom mirror or the collar of a shirt worn for 2 consecutive days. When a room carries a stale, tired scent, it is rarely a sign of the room's age or a lack of personal hygiene. More often, it is simply the result of a small piece of fabric that has been quietly recycling the same odor back and forth for a few days too long. Breaking this cycle requires treating these high-contact fabrics not as passive objects, but as active participants in your daily scent profile. 2. Airing what never sees the sun. On any clear morning in Japan, balconies and clotheslines quietly fill with a familiar ritual. Hoshi-buten, heavy futons and blankets hung out to bathe in the sun and the breeze. There is a quiet science to it. Sunlight and moving air physically extract the moisture trapped deep within the fibers. Because left alone, that hidden moisture becomes a breeding ground for odor-causing bacteria, inside fabric that looks and feels completely fine. Now, look at the alternative. A blanket left permanently on the bed does the exact opposite. Folded under itself and hidden from daylight for months, it seals in a microclimate of stagnant air, pressing against you, night after night. Even without a balcony, opening a bedroom window for 10 minutes each morning achieves a similar disruption. Many Japanese households maintain this habit straight through winter, cracking a window briefly even in freezing weather, simply because a closed room recycles the exact same air night after night. Sometimes a stale bedroom isn't about the blanket or your skin at all. It is simply about air and fabric that haven't moved in days. 3. Every place a head rests. You probably wash your pillowcase regularly. But what about the sofa where you lean back every evening? Or the office chair where your head rests for hours? These are some of the most overlooked contact points in a home. Your hair and skin leave behind oils and moisture wherever they touch fabric repeatedly. Over time, those small amounts can build up, especially on places that are rarely washed separately from the furniture itself. In many Japanese households, a small washable cover is kept on the headrest of a sofa or car seat and swapped or washed on a regular rotation, treating it with the exact same care as a pillowcase. It's a tiny targeted fix for the one contact point that quietly absorbs the most. Think about your favorite chair, the headrest on your car seat, the top edge of the sofa where your hair touches every night while watching television. You may clean the room regularly without ever cleaning those exact spots. And that's the important distinction. You don't necessarily need to deep clean the entire sofa every week. Sometimes a washable cover, a removable towel, or simply wiping and cleaning the areas that receive the most contact can make a bigger difference. Because when it comes to lingering odor, the entire room isn't always the problem. Sometimes it's just the few square inches that your head touches over and over again. 4. The closet that never breathes. Now think about what happens after you close your closet door. The air stops moving. Clothes stay packed together. Shoes sit nearby. And any moisture trapped inside has nowhere to go. This is one reason a closed closet or shoe cabinet holds still air for weeks at a time. And every piece of clothing hanging inside quietly absorbs whatever is sitting in that air, carrying it right back out on your body the next time it's worn. A Japanese-inspired approach starts with a simple shift. Don't treat storage as a completely sealed ecosystem. Give the space some airflow and avoid packing clothes so tightly that air can't move between them. For the spaces that still trap air, many Japanese homes place a small piece of Binchitan charcoal on a shelf. Research on activated carbon shows it works through pore filling. Its surface is covered in microscopic openings that physically trap odor molecules before clothing ever has a chance to absorb them, rather than simply covering them with a stronger scent. The same charcoal works in a gym bag, a fridge drawer, or a car's glove box. But the charcoal isn't the entire solution. The bigger habit is simply allowing the space to breathe in the first place. Because sometimes a shirt smells slightly off before it's even been worn. It's simply been hanging next to air that had nowhere else to put its smell. 5. The tea leaves that never made it to the trash. Used tea leaves usually go straight into the bin the moment the pot is empty, treated as nothing more than the leftover part of making tea. In many Japanese kitchens, dried used tea leaves are kept and placed in a small cloth pouch inside a shoe cabinet or fabric drawer instead. Research on tea catechins has found they chemically neutralize odor-causing compounds like amines, rather than just masking them the way a scented sachet does. A handful of dry leaves works the same way tucked into a gym locker, a linen closet, or the bottom of a laundry hamper, anywhere odor tends to concentrate between wash days. Sometimes the fix for a smell was already sitting in the kitchen. It's simply been getting thrown away instead of reused. 6. Choosing to remove it, not cover it. 2 bottles of laundry detergent can sit side by side on a store shelf, both promising fresh-smelling clothes and do almost opposite things to the fabric. Many Japanese laundry products are labeled shoshu, meaning odor-eliminating, and are formulated to break down odor-causing compounds at a molecular level. A separate scented softener simply adds a stronger fragrance on top, which fades within a day and leaves the underlying smell right where it was. The same distinction shows up in dish soap and bathroom cleaners across many Japanese households. A preference for products that neutralize a smell at its source rather than layering a new one over it. Sometimes clothes that smell fresh for an hour and then don't were never actually clean. They were simply masked for a little while. 7. Where it quietly starts, by the door. Shoes come off at the door in many Japanese homes, and it's easy to assume that's the whole habit, when the more important part happens after the shoes are already off. Shoes are commonly left to air out on a rack near the genkin entryway, rather than sealed into a closed cabinet right away, sometimes for a full day before being put away, giving trapped moisture somewhere to go instead of sitting inside the shoe. The same principle applies to gym shoes tossed straight into a bag or boots kept in a car trunk. Sealing damp shoes in a closed space is often the single biggest source of a smell that later shows up on socks, floors, and closets. Sometimes the smell people notice last in a home actually started first, right by the front door. 8. The fan switch nobody remembers. Curtains in the living room can end up smelling like last night's dinner without a single dish ever touching them, simply because they were in the room while the cooking happened. In many Japanese kitchens, the exhaust fan goes on the moment cooking starts, not after the smell is already noticeable. Fabric throughout a home, curtains, sofa cushions, even bedding in a nearby room absorbs airborne cooking particles the same way it absorbs body oil, quietly and cumulatively. The same habit extends to cracking a window during and after cooking something strong smelling, like fish or fried food, giving the odor somewhere to go before it settles into the nearest soft surface. Because no amount of air freshener can fix a room that traps yesterday's dinner in its fabric. Sometimes a home doesn't need a deep clean. It just needs the air to move before the food hits the pan. 9. The furniture that never gets washed. A sofa or a rug gets vacuumed regularly in most homes, but vacuuming only ever reaches the surface, never what's settled deep into the fibers underneath. Many Japanese households steam sofas, rugs, and curtains every few months, using heat to loosen oils and odor trapped below the surface that a vacuum alone can't reach. It's treated as routine maintenance, the same category as washing a blanket, not a special deep clean reserved for spring. The same approach works on a mattress or a car's fabric seats. Any large piece of fabric too big to throw in a washing machine but still absorbing everything the same way smaller fabric does. Sometimes the room that still smells slightly off after a full cleaning isn't missing effort. It's simply missing the one piece of furniture nobody thought to steam. Sometimes the smell you notice isn't a sign that you've stopped taking care of yourself. Sometimes you've simply been living with the same pillow, the same sofa, the same blanket, and the same closed spaces for so long that your home has quietly started holding on to what your body leaves behind. And because you live there every day, you may not notice it anymore. That's why these habits aren't really about cleaning harder. They're about noticing the small things before they become bigger problems. Changing the fabric that touches your face every night. Letting a blanket breathe in the morning air, giving your shoes time to dry before putting them away, turning on the fan before the smell of dinner fills the room, and cleaning the places you touch every day, even when they still look perfectly clean. In Japan, there is a beautiful idea expressed through the word kaze-tushi. Literally, it means allowing air to pass through. A home needs room for air to move. And in a way, so does life. When we close everything up for too long, moisture stays, stale air settles, and things slowly lose their freshness. Sometimes all we need is to open a window and let something new in. Maybe that's what caring for a home is really about. Not keeping everything perfect, just making a little more room for things to breathe. A little more air, a little less trapped moisture, a little more room for freshness to return. And maybe that's not only how we keep a home feeling fresh. Maybe it's also how we keep life feeling fresh. So the next time you wonder, why does something smell different? Don't immediately blame your age. Look around. The answer might be much simpler than you think. And you don't have to change everything. Sometimes one small habit is enough to make a home feel fresh again. Because you're not just cleaning a room, you're taking care of the place that has quietly cared for you for years. And perhaps that's worth doing a little more gently.